and girls. Today you're going to learn how to draw a cityscape. Ready? Let's go.
Welcome to the city. In this photo, you see the buildings are overlapping. Overlapping shows depth in your drawing. Notice that the small buildings are in the foreground. Notice that the medium buildings are in the middle ground. And notice that the tall buildings and the mountain are in the background. Look at these cityscapes created by students just like you. Now, let's get started.
Today we are going to make a cityscape. Okay, so a cityscape is kind of like a landscape or a seascape. A landscape has land, a seascape might have the sea, and a cityscape is, as you would guess, it has the picture of the city. So we're going to make a cityscape today. Now we're going to try and create the illusion of space. And to do that, we're going to try and create depth by having a foreground and a background. And the way we're going to show a foreground and a background is by overlapping. Important word to create depth. Now, we're going to be using a lot of lines, but mainly the lines that we're going to use are horizontal and vertical. So here we go. Now I'm going to show you in some steps how to draw a cityscape, but I don't want you to feel locked into doing exactly what I'm doing. I want you to feel free to make a different kind of tree or a different kind of car. I'm just going through some steps that I might suggest that you try. You might want to do it my way the first time and then create another cityscape using your own way of doing it. You're adding as many cars as you want or as many buildings. So I would suggest that you watch this video first from the beginning to the end, and then as you begin your drawing, you can start it again and pause it at different steps so you can catch up. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to draw some items in the foreground. That means the items that are most close to us. So I'm going to begin with at the bottom by making a straight line right across the bottom like so. And this is going to be the street. That's going to be the very first thing you see. Now, you might at this time want to make a broken line right down the middle of the street. You know, a broken line means cars can pass. Slower cars can go around them. If it was a solid line, you are not supposed to go around a car if there's a solid line going down the road. Now, I think I'm going to make 3 different vehicles for you. I'm going to make 3 different ones. It doesn't matter where you put yours. I'm going to choose to start in the middle. I'm going to start with just like a regular car. And I'm going to start by making 2 circles, like so. And they're like maybe a finger apart. And they are touching the road. Next, I'm going to make 2 smaller circles inside. Look like the 2 eyes, don't they? Next, I'm going to make a line from one circle to another. Now it looks like 2 olives on a toothpick. Next, I'll make the front of the car by making the letter C, and the back of the car, making a backwards letter C. You can see now they look like glasses. And now I'm going to make the roof of the car by making a curved line or a rainbow line, connecting those. Other details would include an opening in the window, for the window, like there, and some other details like lights. There's the door and the handle. Here is the driver, and look, he's got a seatbelt on. If you want passengers in the back, of course, they have their seatbelts on too. Next, I'll show you how to make a sports car. I think I'm going to put it back here. So I'm going to make 2 olives on a toothpick. You know what that is, 2 circles. Circles inside, line going from olive to olive. But this time I'm going to make the front a little bit different by, see this straight line? Making it longer, going out on the other side of that olive and back like so, so that it looks like a really long toothpick going through the olives. Next step, I want you to think of a roller coaster. I'm going to go starting at the end of this line, going up and down and up and down. Here we go. Up and down and up and down. Notice it's somewhat pointed right here and here. Now this is going to be a convertible, so I'm going to make the windshield. Here's the driver. He's waving. His hair is blowing in the wind. There's a seat belt. His headlight, his tail light. Some other details. I could make a little exhaust pipe with some smoke. I forgot to make one on here. Ugh, stinky smoke. Now it's a nice space here for a truck. So now I'm going to make a truck. This time I'm going to make 3 olives with my finger in between each one. Look at that. The circle inside. And a very long stick going through, a very long toothpick, but it's more like a barbecue skewer, isn't it? So what you have is the stick coming out on this end and this end as well. Now, assuming that all the vehicles are going this direction, I'm going to make the first part. I'm going to make a vertical straight line that is taller than the car, taller than this car. Next, I'm going to go to the front 2 wheels up here, and I'm going to make the same line, and I'm going to stop when it gets to be the same height as this line here. Now I'm going to connect those 2 lines, like so. Now that is the area where they load the cargo. Next I'm going to go to the front of the truck and make a short, straight, vertical line that goes up, a short, straight, vertical line that goes back, a short, straight, vertical line that goes up, and a short, straight, vertical line that goes back and touches this rectangle, like so. Other details, the window, a passenger, or a driver, I should say, light. You can make some lights on this truck, and you can write the name of a company if you'd like. Maybe I want my truck to be a Publix truck. Publix. There. Now, these items are all in the foreground. Now, when you cross a street, when you get to the other side, you will step up onto the sidewalk. So watch what I'm going to do next. I'm going to make another line that runs alongside that street line. But look what happens when I get to the wheel. I lift my marker and go back down. Lift, go back down. Lift, go back down. So that is the curb. So you step up onto the sidewalk. Next step, I'm going to make some items that you might find on the sidewalk. Not the buildings yet, but items like, used to be mailboxes, but not so much anymore. Street lights, maybe trees. Sometimes they plant trees downtown, so in the city. So I think I will make some street lights first. Now, because these vehicles are in the foreground, they might be blocking part of my street lights, but that's okay. I'm going to make the first one. I'm going to make the first one over here, and I'm going to make sure it's taller than this truck over here. And I'm going to make a straight vertical line, but when I get up taller than the truck, I'm going to curve it so it looks like I'm beginning to make a lowercase f. Looks just like a lowercase f. Then I'm going to take my hand, and I'm using my hand to measure. I'm going to make another straight line, and I'm going to try my best to make it like this one. The same height if I can. There. Good job, Mrs. Woodlief. Now I'm going to do another one. Okay, now this one, part of the street light is going to be behind the front of this car. But that's okay. I know how to do that. Overlapping. Good. 3 street lights. One more. This one's going to be behind the truck. Let's see if I can squeeze one more in. One more, just barely. Oh, this one goes off the page, but that's okay. Now, it doesn't look like a street light left yet, so here's what we're going to do. Watch. I'm running a line right alongside. Stop with a circle on the end. Do it again. Circle. Running that line right along that lowercase f without the line going across. And of course you don't see the light here. Now some other objects. Let's see, how about a trash can? I'm going to make a trash can by making an oval on its side, 2 straight lines, and a curved line. That's a good trash can. I don't know that I can write it, but I can pretend like there's a little sign on it. And maybe I'll make a street light here. Watch this. Rectangle, red light, yellow light, green light. There's the pole. And let's see, oh, a tree. You know, sometimes they make planters downtown with some nice trees. I'm going to make 2 curved lines like so. They look like parentheses, but they're turned backwards. Then I'm going to make a long skinny V that goes deep into the tree. Now I'm going to add the top of the tree, the leaves, and remember all of this is going on behind this street light, so we have to use overlapping. Look at this. I like that. Perhaps I'll make one more. I think I'll make one over here. Good. Okay. Next, I'm ready to make my first row of buildings. I'm going to make 3 buildings that are not very tall. I won't make these buildings any taller than halfway up the page. You'll see why. 3 buildings that are not touching. I can start with the one in the middle. We have overlapping going on again. This one goes behind the tree. There's one straight vertical line. Here's the other side. And now I'm going to connect these 2 to make the top of my building. That's my first building. Now, the building on the left and the building on the right, I don't want them to be the same size, either shorter or taller, skinnier or fatter. It's up to you. So I'm going to make this one a little taller and a little skinnier. Let's see, do I need to make that line longer? Oh yeah, I do. There. I'll make one on this side. And oops, I overshot that a little bit. Better make this, even those up and straight across. Very good. All right, so now I have 3 buildings that are on this street. Now I'm going to make some buildings that are behind these buildings that are here in the foreground. These buildings are going to be behind these buildings on the background. And maybe we're only going to see the back of those buildings and there's a street on the other side. So maybe cars would have to drive over 1 block to get to those buildings. So here we go. I'm going to make a building here and a building here. Notice the overlapping, straight line going up, straight line going up, trying my best to make them the same height. And now connect. Connect. And I'm going to make my next one maybe not quite as tall. Good. Now, I have a total of 6 buildings. It's up to you if you want to add more. You could add another one here. You can add another one here. I am not making any more buildings because I'm going to add some objects in the sky that I'll show you in a moment. If you choose to put signs on your buildings, here's one way to do it. Let's say this is a bank. I could write the word bank. Looks like a sign. Maybe this is a hospital. Hospital. And it's a different way to make the sign. Maybe I can make a helicopter landing right here. That's a good idea. I'm trying to be creative. All right, maybe this is the library. You don't have to add signs on your buildings, only if you want to. Oh, that's kind of creative. I don't think I'm going to put signs over here. That's up to you. Now I'm going to show you a variety of ways to make windows. You'll add windows to all your buildings, whatever windows you choose. I'm going to make skyscraper windows on this one by making long vertical straight lines. Oops, I can see them here, can't I? It's a little bit crooked. I'm trying my best though. And then of course there's windows like this where you make 3 across. But if you make 3 going across here, you would make 3 here. And you see I've got overlapping going on again. See how I made that window behind the street light? Maybe this is the door. Good, finished with that. I might have someone looking out of the window. This hospital might have windows that look like this. We're just making that up. Okay, let's see. This is an easy way to make windows. Straight horizontal lines that go across. Maybe there's the door. And lines that go down. Maybe I'll make there's my windows. Maybe this is the door. Oh, I need one here. Good. So now I have windows on all my buildings. So now I've made my vehicles in the foreground, my buildings in the middle ground, and now I can think about things that would be in the background, far away. Those would be the clouds, the sun, maybe some flying things like airplanes or helicopters. So I'm going to show you now how to make an airplane. So to make an airplane, this is going to be easy. A long, skinny hot dog. And then an upside down U here. And there are the wings and windows. You can make some action lines, some smoke. I'll show you how to make a helicopter that is flying and landing on the hospital. I'll make the hospital helicopter right here. Circle. There's the landing gear. Backwards L. The letter V. Diagonal lines, making X's. Here's the big propeller. Think of the letter X. Right now it looks kind of skinny, so I'm going to make it kind of squared off on the end and go to a point, like so. And there's the pilot. This helicopter might be bringing a patient to the hospital. Maybe it's an emergency. Here's one that's flying. Maybe it's waiting for this helicopter to be finished. Here we go. An L-shaped window. The landing gear. Triangle with X's. The back propeller spinning around. Think of the letter X. Now I might want to make a cloud with the sun shining behind it. I might even want to make a ramp coming off the interstate. Watch this. Wow, if you do that, you have to make certain that you show that something is holding that big road up, a support. And if I do this, of course, I would want to put some vehicles. Now, look at how little this car is. The reason this car is very small and this one's larger is because this car is very far away. As you know, items in the background are smaller. Maybe I'll put a school bus here. 2 olives on a toothpick. Straight lines, straight lines, straight lines. Lots of square windows. There's my school bus. Now, a few other details. I think I'm finished. Now I'm ready to color. So remember, foreground and background. And overlapping, as all these objects are, to create the illusion of space, depth in space. Okay, boys and girls, it's your turn. Play the video again, this time pausing so you can catch up with each step. You may begin. Okay, now that you're finished, I'd like you to take a picture of your artwork, then go back to the assignments page, look down on the bottom where you see a plus sign and it reads Add Work. Click on that, upload your picture, and then submit the assignment. Good job.